Good enough.
Hello.
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 Now we got the official nonsense out of the way. I
So,
have to remember where I was at. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think we talked about this briefly on the phone the other day, but I really like the way that we're breaking this up in the podcast is leaving like just the perfect amount of mystery each time.
Yeah, and I hate it. Like, it's good for suspense, but I'm like, I want to know.
Well, I think, yeah, we talked for like 2 minutes and then we had to stop talking because we were saying too much. But like, there's so much mystery, or like so many different mysteries about these damn wolves now. It's like I can't keep it all straight.
And about yeah, I guess it is all about the wolves because it's like, what is going on with now we know about the Dogen. And also, I know we're probably gonna get to that point, but I'm glad it was confirmed that the Dogen is not a real word, that it's a Stephen King made up word off of a Hogan, which is a real word.
Is that in the book, or is that because we looked it up?
No, it's in the book. That's the one that Eddie sees when he's in New York. That's the one. Oh, that's the one that Tower is like freaking out over.
Oh.
Well,
It's
yeah,
called
his special edition, but Eddie was freaking out because it was written by Benny Slightman, and he was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be called the Hogan, but it's called the Dogen,
Oh, right.
which is the
Right. That's why
name
it was
of
worth so much.
right. And the Dogen is the name of that like computer center camera place or whatever.
Right. Wait, yeah, like yeah. I just picture like a hut in the middle of the woods, possibly a straw hut, like Gilligan's
Mm,
Island, and then inside there's all like computer banks and monitors everywhere.
But again, a Dogen is not a real thing. That's why I was like, what am I supposed to be picturing? And I guess I didn't realize the first time I missed that it's it is comes from Hogan, which is a hut. Yeah,
Yeah, Hogan doesn't help me because I have no idea what a Hogan is.
it says it's an
Uh,
Indian. I wrote it down.
oh, I know I mean, other than what they say here. I mean, you could have made that up too,
That's also true. I don't know why I didn't look that
probably.
up.
um, I like how them slow mutants called the father of Jesus, Big Sky Daddy,
I know,
in the
I
first
like
paragraph.
that.
That's kind of funny.
Sometimes you get those Stephen Kingisms where it's like, I'm sure that's what they called them, not you at all.
Right. Yeah, he goes back and forth with that sometimes. I think he used to be like, nope, nope, that's all crap. But I think now as he's getting older, he's allowing a little more in for a possibility,
I kind of
which
have
is
to
what
feel like
happens.
I've always said I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about God, but if I was to believe in gods or in a god, someone like Stephen King, who just constantly like says himself has this stuff flowing through him. I'm like, okay, so where's that coming from then?
Yeah, many writers say that, and by no means the writing I've done when I'm making it up, like fiction, I kind of know what they mean because it just goes and you're a page or two later, you're like, wait a minute, what? Like you
hmm
almost don't remember writing it because your brain's just kind of like working so fast. It's just like doing it by itself. And you're just armed with the pen. It's
To me, that
uh
feels like religion. I'm like, that's crazy. That's magic.
no, I think it's yeah, I think it's how awesome our intelligences are,
The
what they're capable of. It's hard to analyze the brain from within the confines of the brain itself.
brain, right? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I forgot how we got over there, but uh,
But at
a
least we finally figured out one mystery, and that is that there is a tattletale, or not a snitch, I guess. Tattletale's not the right word.
I mean, we confirmed all kind of stuff in this one, right? First of
Huh?
all, how did they not know Jake was there? Like, I think Andy would have. Somebody should have noticed something, and it wasn't even Andy. It was Slightman that noticed the bushes, the
Cactus.
cactuses were, I don't know, agitated or something.
Yeah, something else had been by there recently.
I guess if you stand there long enough, they reach towards you and eat you, possibly.
Sounds
Because weren't
like
they come? Weren't they like reaching towards? Yeah, everything sounds like the ruins anymore.
it.
Uh, um, when Jake was like going by him, or he stood there for a second or something, weren't they reaching out to get him, and he broke one
Yeah.
off? Maybe.
I think I honestly don't remember. I think he just avoided it. But I remember him thinking like, "Oh, that was gonna eat me if it could have."
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he and Oi and the pony went by and they were just moving, but he was watching the cameras when Andy like chopped an arm off because it was reaching towards them. He was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God!"
So yeah. So what? Andy. So what do we know about? What do you know about Andy? Allie. Allie and Andy.
Well, he's a messenger robot, and he's laughing at everyone basically, and he
Many other
demands
functions.
respect from Slightman the Elder.
Yeah, that was weird, right?
Yeah,
He got mad. The robot that has no feelings got mad at the way the guy was talking to him.
I mean,
Yeah.
we all know that these robots have feelings.
oh for sure,
They have
and that
some.
they're not stable.
Yeah, all the bad ones.
I don't think I've met one stable robot in any Stevenson universe. They don't. They don't serve that purpose. I don't think.
Thinks he has an
What about
no trust in robotics and technology.
what about the companion from Went Through the Keyhole, the tiger story? Wasn't there like a little disc robot that was helping him?
Oh yeah, the little
Well,
navigator thing.
And that was good, wasn't it?
Sort of.
I
if
don't
didn't
remember.
that thing go against its programming or something to help him, and then
To
it like
save him, yeah.
caught on fire because it wasn't supposed to do that or something? So still, these are not your ordinary robots.
Right.
How does a robot, first of all, go against its
Yeah,
programming?
right. For a human, I don't think so.
Right, especially for that. My God, I don't like. Yeah, that's pretty sure that's an oxymoron. You can't go against your programming, or it doesn't work.
Or you're defunct.
Yeah, or it's not your programming is different than you thought it was. You know. Um,
My goodness.
I like. Where was it? Roland and Callahan talking. Roland's like, "Would you hear my confession?" And blah blah blah. And he's like, "And would you keep it to yourself?" And Callahan's like, "Well, that's what us Catholics do. Yes, I will keep it to myself." But he's
I
like,
think I want that.
absolution. That's keeping what you say to myself. That's easy. Just don't mistake discretion for absolution. And it's like the thought of absolution had never crossed Roland's mind, and he found the idea he might need it, or that this man could give it, almost comic.
He's like, you think you can give me absolution for all the wrong that I've done?
Yeah.
Well, that, or who the hell are you to absolve me of the stuff I've done? Like, it almost
Well,
takes
that's true too. Yeah.
like an outsider perspective on the whole Catholicism thing, and looking at it like, what are you even talking about? That makes no sense. You
It's
know?
like, how could you even do that?
Yeah. You're not the man Jesus or the big sky daddy.
Does Roland even believe in the man Jesus?
I
It doesn't
don't.
sound like it.
You know, I don't know. I don't know that we know what
Yeah.
Roland really believes in. He has a lot of experience and tales of things, but that's more what he's been through than stuff that he believes. I don't think he has a.
So
I'm not sure.
that's why I take it as where he's like, what? How? That's not possible. Like,
Well, yeah, it's like an outsider looking at the religion, going, "What? What? That doesn't make
yeah.
sense." I like he's yelling at himself. Why had it take us so long to have palaver? Oh, I think in the audiobook, somebody didn't call it palaver. They call it palaver or something. I didn't like that. I can't do it that way.
I got
I've been
excited.
saying Oliver in my head the entire time.
Which
There's
way?
a lot of words that I was saying wrong. Well, whatever, wrong.
According to the audiobook?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I learned about Cuthbert and Deschain and all that nonsense.
Cuthbert just sounds wrong.
So does
I thought you were.
Des.
Sorry, go
What?
ahead. No, go ahead.
Uh, uh, I think Deschain sounds about as stupid as it goes. Cuthbert. I don't know how you get Cuthbert out of Cuth anyway. I don't. He should know better than that.
I got super excited though when Tower was like,
Hello?
Uh, I'm here. Are you here?
I'm here.
was
Okay, you went away, so I don't know what you said after super excited and before Dogan.
I cut out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just said we talked about the Dogen already, the book, the misprint, but I was like I wasn't sure what the book was gonna be at first when Tower was like, "Oh, I know that word all the time in this book," and I was like, "Oh God, what is it?" I was like, "That's not a
Did
word
you?
that we use in our language."
So, Allie, did you catch the end of this where Roland had a book?
Yeah, so I had to go back because I completely forgot what Our Lady of Serenity was. I did not remember that was Callahan's church. For some reason, my mind went to Little Sisters of Valeria.
That's where mine went, so I didn't remember that either.
But I'm like, oh, so is he reading stuff about what's about to happen next, like future stuff?
Is that the Salem's Lot Church, Serenity?
No, it's the one
That's the
in
Calla Church,
the Calla church. Yeah.
huh? Um. Well, I was very excited, but I don't think we know where that's going yet. But I was wondering if these parts get hard to talk about sometimes when he goes back and forth because I can't ever remember like how far into it we are and how much we know about them so far sometimes.
Yeah.
John was asking me that. He's like, so you like three people instead of two? And I said, well, I mean, I'm kind of like the nerd that knows all Stephen King stuff, and I've read every book two or three times. Like, Amber's read most of them at least once. Allie has read, and that's why we started with Kirsten because she hadn't read anything. So I like that hadn't read it before perspective because like I kind of know what me and Amber think for the most part. But so the outsider who've never read it before mostly. I mean, I don't. You read it I think before we did it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was the first Stephen King book I read. So like I had read Salem's Lot before. I had read it. I've read Carrie. I've read Cujo. Which please let's never do Cujo for the podcast because I don't want to read that book again.
Because of the dog.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not my favorite story anyway. I wouldn't. That would be way down on the list. So I don't think we have to worry about that.
Yeah. So
That
I
story's
thought
that story's like
That's
200
what I
pages
was.
of nothing happened.
Okay. I thought you were saying it's not that bad, but you were saying matter anyway. It's not a good book.
It's really not. Like they pull up at this house in this car and they like get stuck in the car for 3 days. So that's the book. And the rest of it is just her thinking about stuff and the dog fucking with him every now and then.
yeah.
And the kid has asthma or something to make it complicated. And he's like out of medicine and they can't go get it, all that stuff. Anyway, you don't have to worry about Cujo. So John was asking me about why we had a third person. I'm like, well, I like that third perspective. Like, help me.
And I
Now we
like
just sit there and what?
I like participating in.
Yeah, well, hey, that helps too. Did you
Well,
tell her about Mia and the castle banqueting hall? I thought she doesn't know about Mia. I thought they told her when they
She knows
told her
she's
what.
pregnant.
Yeah, she knows she's pregnant, and I think she kind of guessed that there was another personality, but she didn't know like for sure.
Didn't we actually get a small bit of her perspective where she was wondering if there was something else or someone else, another personality or something growing?
When they were in New York and everyone else wanted to see the rose, and she like lost time.
And she can
Yeah.
walk also.
Yeah.
That supposedly was the giveaway, right? That's how we know it's Mia because she has legs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's Catholic, I guess. It's funny the stand that he makes. He's like,
I
nope, I'm not doing it.
I was so mad.
I know. I'm like, this guy's killed how many vampires? Like, come on.
Yeah. And it's they all know that it's a literal demon child. Like, what the fuck good do you think is gonna come from this? Just abort
Yeah,
it
what
when
is I'm sorry, I mean Kayla.
No,
It's
I'm done.
I just
we could
like
almost parlay that into a social conversation of current events, but I'm not gonna. But
well, what does the Catholic Church say about aborting demon babies? Are they okay with that?
If they
you
do
know,
exorcisms, they should be fine with it.
that's probably what they'd say, right? You don't abort the baby, you have the baby, and well, no, that would be a possessed human that has a demon in it, not an actual demon. I don't know. Does the church think demon babies exist?
Probably not. According to Callahan's
I
logic.
mean, do they think God exists?
Well,
Just kidding.
Satan's not in the Bible, so I don't know. He was made up in like the Dante's poem. I don't know. Wait, is a demon baby a thing in Christianity? I'm not sure.
I mean,
But still,
it's got to be one of the threats, right? Like, don't do this or you'll become a demon baby.
right? Listen to your parents or you'll grow fangs. Actually, I'd have been like, oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Right? Is that supposed to be a threat? Because I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, it was it almost like I could see, I could picture a couple priests that I was about to say grew up with. I guess that's not right. That I had as teachers when I was in grade school. They would act that way. It's almost like a donkey in the corner. It doesn't matter what kind of baby it is. We don't abort, and it doesn't matter what else is going on. And I don't care. And there's nothing you can say. No. And like I can hear him braying like a donkey right now. Callahan. Like no, 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 no. Like something out of Family Guy.
Yeah.
It's why does Roland appease him? And how can he be part of their quartet if he's going to be like that? Because if it comes down to it, that baby's going to have to,
Yeah, but
like they said, it doesn't work out well for the mother. That baby's going to come out one way or the other. And I think the question is going to be, go ahead. Sorry.
I think part of the reason why he's okay with it is because they don't even know if they can abort it. Like, so he's like, all right, fine, we won't. Well, whatever. Like, maybe we will, but you don't need to know that.
Yeah, is that what he's doing? Just shutting them up and moving on? But if he's going to be part of their quartet, he can't do that, right?
Well, maybe he also really recognizes that he needs him, like, for, to go toe dash and stuff. So he's like, well, just, fine.
I need him to go toe dash and also need him so that he doesn't undo literally everything, like all the work that they've done in the Calla. Because that's what he was threatening. He was like, if you do this, I will make your life a living hell by turning everyone in the town against you.
But what do they care about the Calla?
Well, yes. And what would a gunslinger do in that situation? I think he would solve. I think he would solve the threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's against their credo or whatever, but that credo is 1,000 years old. There's nobody left, so who cares?
I don't remember when, but there was a point too where somebody was like, well, then you guys just won't help us. And I'm like, I remember thinking like somebody from the town or somebody outside was like, well, then we'll stop you from helping the townspeople. And it's like, okay, fine. Then they can get on with their mission. Like, they're doing them a favor.
I know. Remember how in the beginning, Roland was like, no, we're not talking you into anything. And ever since then, like, that's all they've been doing is talking him into it.
Yeah.
What did Callahan say? He was craftier than I realized. Let them think. Let them. I forget how he said it, but like let them talk themselves into it, but make them think that they're like talking you into it. Or you. Anyway, I guess Roland figures Callahan is super important for some reason, and Like I like Callahan. I love his story and vampires, and I think that could be a whole book by itself. But I can't stand that. It was like, oh yeah, he's still a Catholic priest.
Yeah, but I mean, he
Even in
is a
another
Catholic
world, in
priest,
another
right?
universe. I mean, yeah, but it's kind of like saying like Roland's still a gunslinger, but there's nobody left
My thing
to
about
give a
that though is like there has to be other sins that people are doing that he's not like acting like that about.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, it's a vampire, but is that murder? Like, if you're going to say it's abortion no matter what, isn't it murder no matter what?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you cannot take this stand after you've slaughtered a lot of other creatures.
Yeah, how do you know that? Well, I was going to say, how do you know that baby's not going to grow up to be a vampire, but it's already a demon? So, I
Right.
mean, what are you going to do? Have the baby and kill it?
That's better, definitely. No abortion, just child murder.
Right. As long as you don't abort it, we're good. Uh, oh, anyway, I guess we move on from that. That's the whole.
These
the whole
are funny
topic.
things to be shouting out loud outside with people around.
Are you getting any strange looks? Wait, you got people around?
No, not very close, but like, there's people at the church, so I just have to be not that loud. Yeah.
We are speaking of a demon, not a human being. So you say that's God's business, not mine. Like, okay. What does that mean? He doesn't believe that?
So I guess Catholic Church says no to aborting demon babies.
I like how Roland's like, and if it kills her, will you say the same and wash your hands, even though he's like never heard of the Bible or read it? He pulled the old Pontius Pilate out, made Callahan cringe.
Okay, shut up, Roland. You'll kill her the first chance you get too.
Well, that's the other thing. Is Roland just like, well, fine, I'll just like agree to what he says because he's just gonna die anyway. Because everybody's gonna die. Everybody always dies.
Yeah, right. Sure,
Like,
whatever
so I
you
was like,
want.
whatever. I mean, what do you need me to agree to? Let's just come on.
I could
Like, great.
definitely see Roland having that logic.
Yeah. Like Amber said, like, good. Skip the Calla because I don't want to be there anyway. Well, I like the Calla. I like how important they think they are.
Well, I mean, obviously. Ooh, also that
The
reminds
end of
me,
the
sorry, that they brought up
yeah.
the potential theory that they want for the so-called twin telepathy juice enzyme, whatever. I'm like, at least that would sort of make sense because I couldn't figure out what it would be that would make twins special.
Oh, like the bond.
Yeah, he
Like
actually
how
said
they
twin telepathy. Not that it's necessarily a proven thing, but I don't know.
do we know what they're doing with that?
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I have to ask questions. So, Allie, what the hell are they doing with that?
Theories?
Okay.
I think I said this theory before, but I think because I feel like it's kind of, I don't remember if you guys said it or if it was said in the book, but I feel like it has been said that there are probably vampires out in Thunderclap. And from reading Doctor Sleep, that just makes me think of like Rosie and all the vampires who were basically taking like kids with the shine and eating like their psychic abilities type things. So it might be something like that. Like they're feasting on their brains, and then once all of that is drained and there's nothing special about them anymore, they ship them back to the Calla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose the Hat is a lot like the wolf, isn't she?
I did not even think about that. Yeah.
Me neither. Except they don't turn root, I don't think, that we know of. They just die.
They just
horribly.
die. Yeah.
Yeah, they die in pain because it tastes better or something.
Being root isn't so bad now, is it?
But that that would maybe you know, in whatever universe Rose is in, is they have to die, versus in the Calla, different rules, different universe.
That's true.
Rose could be a vampire. No, I mean not. I mean, no, I guess not.
In a sense, yeah. I guess.
Psychic vampire is not a thing. I think I want to say what I think Rose is, but I don't know if I can say that yet.
Is she not a
I think I
vampire?
know what you want to say.
Yes.
It's been a,
Amber,
it's
am I allowed? Am I allowed to say where I think she comes from?
Well, so Allie specifically called them vampires, which makes me believe they call themselves in the book, but I don't remember. So
it's been a while since I've read it, so I don't know, but that's what I equated it to when I was reading.
okay.
It was vampire-like, but like, did you see the movie? Like, it was more like a, and I don't remember how accurate one is compared to the other, but it was like a, psychic energy they were sucking out of him. Not, it wasn't like a blood or
Right, but it's
like
it's the same like vampires that we've now seen, like type 2, type 3 vampires. Those aren't the
there's still blood
traditional
vampires, right?
vampires that we know, but we still call them vampires. So
Okay, we're expanding the definition. There's blood vampires and psychic vampires. Maybe we'll go with that. I think I know where Rose comes from.
yeah, but I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, so we'll have to circle back to that. I like that you read Dr. Sleep, though. That's becoming more relevant. I think that's come up a couple times.
How about it made me think of Jake using the touch on Andy, and he's like, "If it thinks, you can touch it." I'm like, "Is that how that works?"
Okay, well, let's back up. Andy thinks. Andy's a robot. And I thought, did Jake didn't try, did he?
No, well, he wasn't sure. He knew Andy was laughing, but he wasn't sure why, I think is what it was.
Wow, he knew his blue eyes were flashing, which means he's laughing at you. Jake's on to him. Jake's my favorite. Just figure like the 12-year-old. Oh, cool. Well, it is a Stephen King book. So the 12-year-old figuring everything out that the adults can't.
I like how Roland put it as like Jake scolded him because he deserved it. Like, yeah, you sure did.
I like how I passed that. Roland was like, well, why did it take us so long to have the conversation? And it took Jake to initiate the conversation. Jake had told him, and then he stopped it, like in his thoughts, like, well, scolded him actually. Like, yes, you needed to be scolded, because I think even after that, wasn't there something that he decided to keep secret after like Jake yelled at him and they had their little Dan Din thing?
He's always keeping secrets. That's like what Roland does. Is doesn't trust anyone and keeps secrets.
Then the quartet's broken, or I don't understand what a quartet is. Right? It's already broken.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, you can't keep secrets. I mean, yeah.
It's like, is Roland's caw to keep a secret? Like, I don't know how meta it can get.
Yeah, I like how the one part is like, Roland was thinking about Kyle. And contrary to what Eddie thought, Roland hardly thought about Kyle at all. Like, okay. Eddie would have said Roland thought about Kyle all the time.
I find that hard to believe too. I'm like, what if you're thinking about the tower? Isn't that Kyle? Like, whatever.
I mean, there's not much to think about because you can't do shit about it, right? It's not like you can influence Kyle, so it's like fate. Like, well, whatever happens, happens. Who cares? Because what is there to think about?
Well, there was a point where I don't remember who he was talking to, but he was thinking like that his mission. He's like, who was he talking to? It didn't matter because his quest, I think it was Callahan, is to save the universe, to save all universes.
I just passed that. It's when they were talking about the abortion.
Yeah.
My quest.
Go
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna quote it. Quest of my quartet is the Dark Tower pair. It's not saving this world we're about, or even this universe, but all universes, all of existence. I don't care, Callahan said. I can't care. Now listen to me, Roland, son of Stephen, for I would have you hear me very well. I like how, like, when they're like, "Are you listening?" They're like, "Say thank you." Like, okay, thank you. No, kind of weird. So yeah, he's like all universes.
I just
Isn't
like
that an
it's hard.
oxymoron? Sorry,
Why? Because if
it
what do you
doesn't.
mean?
Isn't the universe everything in existence by definition?
That's a good. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's hard for me because like I know how the story goes, and we keep. I feel like he just keeps throwing in this. Like it starts out where Roland's like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know I got to go to the tower. He's like, I don't really know where the tower is or what it's about, but like again, I'm just gonna get there. Then he's like, oh, like something's happening to it, and then it's like, oh, actually. Now my quest is to save the tower because it saves all the universes, and it's like you didn't know that at all. How are you figuring this out?
Well, yeah, he didn't even like. Wasn't it not that long ago? He didn't even know why he was going. He just knew he had to go.
Like I'm sure it came up where they were talking to someone and figuring it out. I don't even remember at this point, but I'm like, I like how this just keeps getting thrown in there. Like all of a sudden now you know what you're doing.
Well, only two more books.
And also, one
Like
more thing.
the gunslinger, you know nothing.
Exactly.
And I was so frustrated. And now he knows everything.
There's
I
also
wish
a
I knew
quote
that. Yeah.
about the Crimson King, which really surprised me. I did not remember that at all. And it said, did I write that down? Oh, once. Nope, that was something else. That was Eddie being ruthless. I forgot about that. God, I can't remember what it. Oh, all hail the Crimson King, Lord of Todash Darkness, because they're talking about once the universes are destroyed. I'm like, wait, so the Crimson King is wait, is Todash still going to be around once the tower falls? I don't understand. And if it is, so they're saying Crimson King is going to be the king of the Todash. Like, can't he do that now?
They
Well, I think
seem like he can because they're saying Black 13 is like his eye. And I'm like, okay, if it's his eye and he's sending you Todash, then wouldn't he be able to control Todash? And also, why are you using it if it's linked to him?
I forgot we learned that, but they don't really have a choice, I guess.
why is Black 13 cooperating?
That's kind of what Ali was just saying. Yeah.
Right. I have a note sitting on my coffee table here. It says, if Black 13 is evil and it called Callahan into this world, what the hell does that mean? Because Roland said that Black 13 called him, and that's how he came to Midworld. Well, Black 13's up to no good. We all know that. So what does it want Callahan for?
I mean, it's not, all so far. It just seems like it's trying to help them.
It does. Why is it sending them to? This is like the eye of Roland's enemy. I mean, I guess technically that's Walter. I don't know, but anyway, it's the eye of the bad guy. It's like Sauron. I guess we're gonna go back there.
Wouldn't you want to do that? Because now he knows what their plan is.
Okay.
Again, I'm like,
yet he can throw them anywhere in time,
right?
Assuming in any universe that he wants to. You could get rid of them pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, but I think the plan. I think all of existence becomes Todash. Is Todash all dark? Did we just learn that? Did we know that? He calls it Todash darkness, but does that? So I guess
that mean Todash in its current state, or once the universe falls, it will all be Todash darkness? But again, I can't. That doesn't compute with me because there will be nothing.
I think all existence will become Todash, and I don't really. I always saw Todash as like a wormhole kind of thing. It was like It wasn't a world in itself. It was a passage between worlds that had some bad shit in it. While you're, don't stop for anything. Just get the hell out of there. But I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about Todash, so I have to be careful. But that's kind of the way I saw it. So if he's so I mean, like, any classic story, I guess the bad guy wants to kill the light and rule the darkness, which never really made sense to me. But I think that's where we're at.
I guess, but all right, he must know more
I
than
had
I
the same.
do.
I had the same problem because I'm like, well, wait, if like every bad guy, if he wants to destroy the world, like, well, okay, but
But also
then what
why?
happened to him?